Hello dear students, today your tutor Jyoti Sani will teach you the poem The Voice of the Rain in the syllabus of class 11th. And if you like my video then must subscribe it. So this poem The Voice of the Rain, it is written by Walt Whitman. First of all, I would like to tell you about Walt Whitman. He was an American poet, essayist and a journalist, and he is called the father of free verse. This poem is also written in free verse because it doesn't have a rhyme scheme. Walt Whitman was born on 31st May 1819 in New York, US, and he died on 26th March 1892. He was awarded by Golden Kite Award for picture book illustration. So this poem, The Voice of the Rain, has the poetic device personification, because in this poem the poet has described rain as a human being. The poem is based on the conversation which was held between Walt Whitman, that means the poet, and the rain. Even you think that rain can't reply, rain never answers, but here it is presented in a human form, and it is strange, but according to the poet it has given reply to the poet. So now we will read the poem, and it shows the rain has a voice and how the rain gives reply to Walt Whitman. And who art thou, said I to the soft falling shower, which strains to tell, give me an answer, as here translated. The poet says, who art thou? He said, who art thou? Art means are and thou means you. In ancient language, poet used such slangs. So it means the poet said to the rain, who art thou? So the poet asked the rain who it is. ये कौन है? Said I to the soft falling shower. This is said by the poet to the soft falling shower. Soft means delicate, falling जो गिरता हुआ है, shower पानी की बौछार. तो उस हल्की पानी की गिरती हुई बौछार से पोइट पूछता है. पोइट कहता है, मैंने उससे पूछा, who art thou? कौन हो तुम? Which strange to tell? And this thing is so strange to tell by the poet because rain can't give reply. But the poet said, which strange to tell, give me an answer. So that is strange to tell to the readers that rain gave me an answer. When he asked rain who it is, then rain gave answer as here translated. And that conversation which was held between the rain and the poet, that reply which was given by the rain to the poet, is here translated. उसी को यहाँ पे translate किया गया है. I am the poem of her. So this is the reply of rain to the poet. When poet asked the rain who it was, then the rain gave him an answer, and that answer is here translated. I am the poem of earth, said the voice of the rain. I am the poem of earth. So first of all, I would like to tell you the poetic devices which are used in these three lines. When the poet asked this question to the rain, who art thou? So you is addressed to the rain. Rain is a non-living object, but here it is presented as a living object. So in the very first line, personification is there. When non-living objects are compared with living objects, they are presented as living objects, there is personification. Soft falling shower, oft falling, soft falling, so alliteration is there. Which strange to tell, give me an answer, as here translated, I am the poem of earth, said the voice of the rain. when the poet asked that question, the rain gave a reply. The rain said that it is the poem of earth. Poem of earth. The rain is presented like poem of earth. So rain called itself poem of earth. So metaphor is there. When two objects are compared directly, metaphor is the poetic device. I am the poem of earth. The rain is describing about itself. Here again, the rain is described or presented in a human form. So personification is there. So the rain said, I am the poem of earth. कि मैं क्या हूँ? धरती की कविता. Eternal I rise impalpable out of the land and the bottomless sea. Now the rain further describes eternal, which doesn't have an end. I rise. The rain said, it rises impalpable, eternally. So it is a never-ending process. It is continuous in an impalpable way. Impalpable, which cannot be touched, out of the land, and it rises out of the land and the bottomless sea. Wherever there is water on this land, on this earth, that evaporates, and those water vapors cannot be seen by human eyes. That's why when rain rises in the form of water vapors, and it is a never-ending process, it doesn't have an end. तो ऐसे रूप में वो कैसे उठती है ऊपर? Impalpable way में, that cannot be touched, because we can't touch water vapors. पानी जो है जब vapors के वे में पानी भाष बन के जब उड़ता है तो वो देखा नहीं जा सकता, छुआ नहीं जा सकता. And it rises out of land and the bottomless sea. So wherever there is water in bottomless sea, land, the water evaporates. Bottomless sea. Again there is a poetic device. Because sea is called bottomless. Even sea has a bottom. होता तो बहुत गहरा है, but it has a bottom. So hyperbole, because it is described in an exaggerated manner. So hyperbole is there. Now the rain says, upward to heaven. It rises in an impalpable way, and it rises out of land and the bottomless sea, and it goes upward to heaven. Heaven means sky, because heaven is also upward and sky is also upward. So the rain in the form of water vapors, it goes upward towards heaven, towards sky. Winds, vaguely formed, altogether changed, and yet the same. So winds, in that way, when it goes to heaven, in that way, vaguely formed. So it is changed slightly, a little bit. It changes its form. Altogether changed, then it is changed completely, and yet the same. Still, it is called rain. फिर भी रूप तो पानी का ही होता है, भले उसके रूप बदल जाए, लेकिन वो होता वाटर ही है. So when it goes to heaven, firstly it is slightly changed, then it changed altogether, and then instead of that it remains same. I descend to leave the droughts, atomies, dust layers of the globe. The rain again says, personification is there. So rain descends to lave. Lave means to wash. So rain descends to wash the droughts. Droughts सूखे जो कण होते हैं हर चीज के. Atomies, small particles, tiny particles of everything on this earth. Dust layers, the layers, dusty layers of this globe, of this earth. So the rain descends, the rain falls to wash the drops, tiny particles, dust layers of this earth. It washes everything. It makes everything beautiful when it washes everything. Without rain, nothing can be so beautiful. And all that in them without me were seeds only, latent, unborn. All that in them without me. Again personification, because there is personification in the whole poem. All that in them without me were seeds only. The seeds which are sown, they remain seeds only without rain, because if the water will not be there, then no seed can grow, and they will be hidden, latent means hidden, and unborn. They will not born, जन्म ही नहीं होगा उनका, छिपे ही रह जाएंगे, उगेंगे ही नहीं. So this shows that on this earth, when rain comes, rain gives life to this earth. Rain is earthly life, because it provides life to this earth. Without rain, nothing can grow, no seed will grow, and it washes each and every part, each and everything of this globe. It purifies, makes beautiful everything. When rain comes, fields smile, everything seems beautiful. And forever, by day and night, I give back life to my own origin. And forever, always, forever, by day and night, even that is day or night, during day and night, I give back life. The rain gives life to its own origin. And the origin of rain is, I have told you earlier, land and bottomless sea. That means this earth, this globe. Because the water evaporates itself out of land and bottomless sea, wherever there is water. So origin is this earth, and it gives life to this earth itself, because rain is called earthly life. Rain gives life to this earth. Everything is active, everything is live because of rain. So during day and night, the evaporation process goes on, and it provides life to its origin, to this earth, and make pure and beautify it. So rain makes everything pure, everything beautiful on this earth. It washes everything. When rain comes, everything seems beautiful. So this is the conversation between the poet and the rain. Last two lines, they are put in bracket. That is the part of this poem, but that is not the part of the conversation between the poet and rain. So when we will read it, we will have a better understanding of this poem. What song issuing from its birthplace after fulfillment, wandering, dragged or undragged, duly with love returns? For song, as a song which is issued from its birthplace, because songs, they are produced in the hearts of poets, musicians, etc. So a song which is issued from its birthplace, the heart of a human being, and after fulfillment, when its target is achieved, because its target is to reach to everybody's heart. When everybody listen to the song, then there is a fulfillment of that song. Wandering, when it wanders in the whole world, everybody listen to that song. So ragged or unragged, so whether it is liked or understood or not understood, when someone produces a song, so it wanders everywhere, it goes to everybody's heart. Some people like it, some people don't like it or don't understand it, but that song, because it has a feeling, duly with love returns. It duly with love returns to that heart which produces it, because that person have the same feelings for that song, whether other people like it or not, don't like it, but it is liked by the person, that heart which produces it. So in the same way, rain also, it has the origin which is this earth. So when it emerges from this earth in the form of water vapors, it goes to heaven, absorbed by clouds, then again in the form of raindrops it falls on this falls on this earth and gives life to this earth. So as a song which is produced from its birthplace, and after fulfillment, when it wanders everywhere, after being liked or not liked, it comes back to the poet's heart. So rain also, it originates from earth and comes back to this earth. Okay students, I hope you have understood this poem and you liked it. So if you like my video, then subscribe it. Thank you so much.